Welcome back. I'm in the Miata and it's Dyno Redemption Day, so let's go. I did some things off camera with Matt, who you saw helped me build the whole wiring harness. We got boost by gear, or we got the Hall effect sensor on my drive shaft. We rewired the fuel pump so that I am actually getting enough charging volts. The pump is too big for the Miata setup, so we had to run some new wires and whatnot. And I got the 4-bar map sensor installed, so we should have everything we need. There's no wood in here to knock on, but we should have everything we need to actually set up boost by gear, and my target is like 350 wheel in 4th gear. I got some stops to make. I need gas, I gotta feed my tuner some of his favorite cookies, and I gotta get some coffee. So we're gonna do those things and I'll pick you up when we get to the dyno.
One eternity later.
Press the magic button. I don't know why it does that sometimes. Goes into replay mode. 261, 250 foot-pounds. So kind of where we were. I think he's just trying to get us back to where we were, and then we're gonna start adding boost, so we'll see. K-tuner's trash. Well, it is trash. So Dylan decided to join me. We're having issues. Boost by gear signal is working great. Like the speedometer reads the right mileage. It knows what gear I'm in. But the K-tuner boost by gear software doesn't allow for any changes over 0 PSI. It does everything in vacuum, but it doesn't actually do any boost by gear control. So we're gonna just do all or nothing.
False advertising.
Yeah, we're gonna do all or nothing on the tune, kind of like it was before we got here, where like whatever boost it is, it's the same in every gear. And we're gonna try and make that work, which it should, because it worked last time. And then once I switch, which I haven't told you guys, I'm gonna be switching to Honda, and we're gonna put some rounds through this K-tuner ECU once we take it out.
Yes.
Once we switch, we will have boost by gear control. But until then, we're just gonna have all or nothing. I'm just gonna be a little careful on the throttle. So we're gonna keep doing pulls and hopefully make the most power out of any Miata in Rochester.
It's sounding crazy up top.
So 280. What's that for torque? It's nice.
270-ish.
There. 267 torque. So I made 283 wheel, 275 foot-pounds, but we were blowing out the spark plugs. So we took the gap from 0.2628 to 20 thousandths. So down another 6. That's what Miata is running, and they're making like 400 wheels. So on the same exact plug, so we should be okay. Just doing some fine tuning, and we should be able to add some boost and hopefully cross that 300 horsepower threshold. Without boost by gear, I'm not comfortable really making 350 because that's going to be stupid. But anything over 300 I'll be very happy with walking away. So we're almost there. He thinks, Rick the tuner thinks right now the weather correction isn't on. Once it's corrected for weather, that it is actually making over 300, but I want to see it. I want to see it make it on this pre-correction and then see where we really stand. Take number, who knows? Also worth noting, we're doing the Pullz in 4th gear because it is spinning wheels in the dyno. That's why the Pullz sound like they take so much longer. So I'm not sure if we're gonna do another pull, but right now we ended up at 297 and 283 foot-pounds. So that's probably fair to call 300. We'll see if we do another pull. I want to get over that, but yeah, this should be a bit faster than last time we drove it.
Just
30,
just a little bit.
35 foot-pounds torque and 50 wheel. No, 30 wheel. So
Yeah.
should be a little bit. So the final numbers for the day were 300.2 wheel horsepower at 6,600 RPM and 285 foot-pounds of torque right around 4,200 RPM. All right, this isn't first reactions because I've actually been driving this car a lot. It's Wednesday, I got it tuned Thursday. This is the second time, I think I drove it Monday. 300 wheel, 285. I'm sure I covered that earlier in the video, but 285 foot-pounds of torque at 4,000 RPM. 300 horsepower at 6,600 RPM. So the torque hits like immediate before I start driving because it's probably gonna get pretty windy. First gear, absolute joke. Second gear, if you roll into it, it blows the tires off. But as far as highway goes, this thing is fantastic. I absolutely love it. I don't know if I want more power. I'm sure this will feel slow to me soon, but yeah, no. So I'm gonna do some driving. We'll see what we pick up on this thing. It's probably gonna be very loud. The car is very loud. And when it hits boost, it sounds like a jet. So I doubt you're gonna hear me talk. I'll try, but we'll see what happens. So the reason it's only making 300, we set up boost by gear correctly as far as hardware goes. The VSS works, the transmission or the ECU sees what gear I'm in, it knows how fast I'm going. Everything works as you'd expect it to. The boost by gear settings in K-Tuner, however, do not work at all. It's not actually gear, it's map, and it's so it's just vehicle load by RPM, which doesn't differentiate by gear. So there's no boost by gear in K-Tuner. If you've watched this channel before, you know I have ranted about K-Tuner. It's absolute garbage. James, the owner, every time you email him about something, it is like, he's just an asshole when he responds, and it's not actual help. He just like berates you, makes you feel like shit, and then you figure it out on your own, and he's like, oh great, good job. Terrible, absolute trash. Miata actually doesn't sell their stuff anymore because the software is glitchy, and B, he's just so bad to deal with, so they just dropped his product from their website. That being said, I originally thought I was going to go Haltech after this, or a Link ECU, but looking at the price tag, I'd rather put that kind of money into the race car build that we have, which you guys will probably start to see shortly here. It's like 15 or 1600 bucks for a Haltech, Elite 1500, no wires. That would include us depinning and repinning this ECU plug into the Haltech plug, which not impossible, but for a street car, really not necessary. So what we're gonna do is, what I'm gonna do is buy a Honda K Pro. Essentially what the other option was for these cars from Miata. And HA Motorsports, I've already talked to them. They make an adapter harness that will literally convert my 05 to 06 ECU plug to the 02 to 04 RSX ECU plug. So it's just a jumper harness. That's going to be the cheapest and easiest way. My tuner rig doesn't feel comfortable pushing this any farther on this ECU. They had a serious issue where the ECU was told to go to like 22.8 degrees of timing, and with the new update that came out, it missed the decimal point, went to 2,280 degrees of timing or something like that, and totally grenaded a motor on the dyno. So he's done. He's never going to tune K-Tuner again. I don't want to deal with K-Tuner again. So we are going to switch to Honda. I'm not entirely sure when, but we're going to make the switch because it's not worth it. So, all right, that's enough talking. I'm going to wait till I'm a little bit out of Penfield here, the small town, before I start doing any pulls, but it sounds so good. It's so much more, it's such a much deeper tone than it was last year. And it's still very loud, but it's much deeper of a tone. And when you get on it, it just sounds like you're standing behind like an F-16 fighter jet. So maybe here after this light will get on a little bit. There's lots of cops here. That's like half throttle. You can feel in first and second gear, it is about to step out. The nice thing is it's still controllable. Obviously if I met it in first gear, it just blows the tires off, same with second gear. It's at the point now where I'm not just going to toss anybody the keys anymore, because you'll end up around a pole. There's a few people that I'll trust, but that's about it. But I mean, sixth gear even. That's tough. I hope you can hear something. I might be adding another muffler, or sorry, another resonator to it. It's kinda too loud for me still. I was really hoping the turbo was gonna do more. It toned it down, it did not make it quieter. Absolutely lights the tires up. So good. The closest car to comparison I have to this, power-wise, is Brian's Miata from last year. This makes, I believe, a lot more torque, and it makes it a lot sooner. So it feels faster, and we want to do a side-by-side and see kind of, what it actually is, whose is faster. We're within a couple horsepower of each other, so I think mine is faster. The best overall car that I can compare it to is the Mustang GT350 that we drove last year. If you watch that video, I'll put a link up here, the comparison between that and the Camaro. The Mustang is like that crazy girlfriend, just lots of fun, but there's a good chance she's just gonna stab you and you don't know when it's coming. That's this. It's very like, a couple wrong moves, one wrong move, and you're not in a good place. So for me, that's why it's probably a good fun level.